Hey everyone, welcome to Saving the Association. We are so excited to be back with you again this week. We've got a few things around the league we want to talk about. Everything from some slow starts to the Nico Harrison drama in Dallas and all-star format. But let's go ahead and have Tanner kick us off with talking a little bit about...
Nico. So, Brett, November 11th, Nico's fired. Not a huge surprise, or is it? Obviously, the big trade with Luka last year had a lot of people scratching their heads. We talked about it on previous shows, and he somehow recovered with the number one overall draft pick and getting Cooper Flagg. So, felt like at the time that kind of saved his bacon for a minute. However, the Mavs are off to a 3-9 start or 3-8 start, and which is pretty terrible considering who they have. And as a result, changes have to be made. Some people kind of thought Jason Kidd wasn't utilizing this roster in the right way, and that Cooper Flagg was being misused in like a point guard role when he's kind of naturally a small forward, maybe at the least, maybe a shooting guard, but definitely not a point guard. And so with that slow start, the Mavericks move on from Nico on November 11th, who was in the middle of a multi-year deal that he had signed last year in 2024. And, what's crazy is I saw an article, or a headline of an article, that said right before Nico was fired, he tried to trade Cooper Flagg. Now, maybe we've become our parents' generation, because I believed it the minute I read it. Turns out it's not true. We want to dispel that on this show. It's not true. It's just a nice little fake social media gaffe. But Brett, just tell you
what I heard.
What I read is published online on the interwebs. Brett, what are your thoughts on Nico being gone? What is the outlook for Dallas? Should this have happened a while ago?
Yeah, it's a mixed bag, only because I think everyone could agree that that's really felt like a stupid trade. Like, why in the world would you do that trade? But at the same time, I kind of saw the merit behind it. They just weren't planning on Kyrie Irving blowing his ACL right after that trade. I think if AD would have started the season off healthy, along with Lively and Gafford, their interior defense had potential to be otherworldly. And I'm not sure we got a chance to see yet what the Dallas team is going to be. I would agree that today I was reading some of the insiders talking about how, fully healthy, they're not sold on this team being a terrible team. I do think that there is a vision for what Nico was trying to do, but the problem was you still crafted that vision around a bunch of injury-prone players, and that's problematic. I haven't loved Cooper Flagg playing the point guard. I do think Jason Kidd's rotation has been, he's a smart guy, so I'm just going to trust in the process maybe, but I haven't loved Cooper playing point guard. I think that hasn't put him in his best position to win, but I definitely think you could make the huge argument that he should have been fired a while ago, but at the same time, if you already rolled the dice on him, I feel like they prematurely got rid of him before his plan could truly unfold this year. To me, what would have made sense is that that all-star break, maybe firing him, unless there must have maybe been some internal stuff that was going on. That's what comes to my mind, or else why not just see how it all plays out? Because now they're talking about getting rid of Clay. They're talking about getting rid of AD a little bit. So I'm not sure. I definitely think it's I'm not surprised, but I'm also think it was a little bit
Timing's
premature.
Interesting. I wonder what the expectations for that team were internally. You and I see kind of a mixed bag of veterans and some younger talent that, if healthy, could be competitive, albeit in the West. But again, you don't have a core piece, which is a point guard, to facilitate an offense to get all those guys the ball. AD's not bringing the ball up the floor if he's on the floor. Nor is Gafford, nor is Lively. I mean, that kind of lets me think that they thought they were going to be much better than they were with this plan. And, if they're maybe 5-7 rather than 3-9, they hang on a little bit longer. It felt a little knee-jerk to me just because of the timing. And like you had said, I think maybe All-Star break and feeling out kind of the future of where they want to go would be a better scene for them. Something else that I thought was interesting, and again, I'm not sure how much of these rumors or speculations are true. Klay Thompson went to that team under the idea that he was going to be set up from Luka and that he was going to be getting good, easy looks, right? And an aging Klay Thompson can do even less with the ball on the floor than he could in his Golden State days. So I'm sure he feels frustration knowing that Luka's gone, and not only are they kind of retooling with the young Cooper Flagg now, but they don't have a true point guard to get him looks. He's not as valuable. So I'm sure there's frustration from him as well as other players, but it feels like kind of a mess until they really choose a direction. And I think a lot of teams would be interested in their pieces.
Yeah. Once again, just to put Kyrie Irving in that conversation too, like he had Steph and KD in Golden State for a few years, to have Kyrie and Luka meant guaranteed easy looks. And now they don't have any of that. And so he's just playing a role as an aging, past his prime, all-star. And, I also think there's potential. Maybe there's a little, remember Chris Humphries and Kim Kardashian? Maybe a little thing going on there with Klay right now, too.
Absolutely. So, it could be. And Klay's at that point in his life. Like, he's had his success. He's, past his prime, as you'd said. And so I think if the rest of the team isn't feeding into him playing a more, supplementary role, then he's going to struggle carrying more weight than he's capable of right now. All that to say, I don't foresee any all-stars on that team this year, though AD was a shoo-in in the years past, but it sounds like the all-star game is changing anyways.
Yeah. No, I'm really intrigued by this. When I heard the change was happening, initially I was like, oh boy, here comes another gimmick. I just hate gimmicks too much. Oh, they love them. But it could be interesting. I heard a spin on it that gave me a little bit of hope. So they're doing this world versus the U.S. format, and what they're going to do, they're still going to have a 24 players that are all-stars, the 12 players per conference. There's going to be the same voting that there's always been, where the fans vote in the starters, or there's fan vote weight to the starters. And one of the big differences is now there's not going to be any positions. So there's not a guaranteed 2 forwards or guaranteed 2 guards or whatever. It's just whoever gets voted in. And then from that pool of 24 players, there's going to be 3 teams of 8 minimum. And so if there's, they're going to have 8 world people, then have 2 8-man rosters for the United States. And if there's somehow a breakup where there's less world or less American players, from what I understand, the league will go ahead and insert 2 other players to meet those requirements to make it happen. One of the big questions I have with that is, what do you do with those players? Are they now considered all-stars? Is it like, hey, congratulations, lucky all-star bid? Or is it just like, hey, go have fun? Because what if they won MVP for some crazy reason? Would they like to not be an all-star and win the all-star MVP? Would be kind of wild. Then I'll get your take here in a sec, Tanner. One other thing that was interesting, though, was I heard a soundbite from Shea about playing for his country. And there was a level of pride. I think maybe more so. We'll see if the Americans will play with that pride too. But like for a team to represent their country actually does put a little bit more pep in their step, and he was kind of excited about that. And I think it'd be interesting. What if the All-Star jerseys were very much like what if they got to wear their colors for their team? I mean, that'd be kind of interesting and cool. So that's just a little bit on that new All-Star format. I think it has potential. I also still have my skeptic flags are up a little bit on how it will work out.
You got to respect them trying.
What are your thoughts, Tanner?
Like, I know we get frustrated with the retooling and the gimmicks and whatever else you want to call it, but clearly they see what we see, which is that it's not working in terms of fan interest, player buy-in, whatever you want to call it. And that's partially because of when it is in the middle of the season, that people don't want to get hurt. In the past, I guess they just didn't care. But yeah, I mean, I think the pitting the U.S. versus the world is a smart approach to at least try, because everything I've seen in my last 20 or so years of ball watching, as the international game has become more and more prevalent in the league, those guys care a lot. And they not only just about like ball and trying hard and whatever, they care about their country and they represent it. So I do feel that like Giannis is going to go a lot harder than an American guy. Now the American guy might react to that, and then that might be what triggers some competition, which is what I hope. But I think if there's a side of one versus the other who's going to have more care factor, it's definitely going to be the international guys. These are the guys that are loyal too. Like, rarely do they demand trades from teams when they come from overseas and play here. It's 10, 15 years. Like, on the level that the American guys ask to be moved around when they're unhappy, it's night and day. So I would love to see it. I would also love, for continuity's sake, there to be a finite number of all-star selections that are at least remembered that way in terms of history and accolades, so that if extra players are added to meet the new criteria, it's not kind of toyed with. But you raise a good point of somebody being called up, as it were, and then going off and having a great game, becoming the all-star MVP without technically being an all-star. That's pretty great. Maybe they're an honorary all-star, an all-star alumnus or something. I don't know what you'd call them, but it should be interesting. And I appreciate that they're trying something new, and hopefully they don't have to keep trying for years and years to come.
Hey, just really quick, we didn't really talk about this at all, but who are the guaranteed world all-stars, you think?
Well, when healthy, I mean, Giannis, obviously a guaranteed. Shea as well. My mind went to Embiid, but he's probably not going to play enough games. Wemby, of course. Jokic. Of course. And we're talking a lot of bigs right now, but you said it's positionless, so that's fine. They don't necessarily have to have.
Yeah,
Alperen,
probably.
Şengün, I think was one. Lauri's putting up 30 plus a game. I mean, his team might not
Who knows?
craft enough wins, but it's hard to deny what he's doing.
Yeah. Maybe in a Franz
maybe.
Wagner?
Maybe. Especially if Orlando can turn it around a little bit. I think definitely so.
Yeah. Their starting five is going to be killer.
Gosh. Oh, hey, I got a name for you. Luka Doncic. Heard of him?
Oh,
he and Shea in the backcourt with Wemby and Giannis. I mean, that is... And Jokic.
It's
like,
there's no way that team loses.
They would dominate. Because who are we talking about
in
the U.S.? Ant?
Yeah, and this is divided amongst two teams.
Yeah.
So that's, you still have So yeah, you've got probably Ant-Man is one of the biggest scares. Steph.
I mean, an aging Steph, let's be honest. A Jalen Brunson.
He was All-Star MVP last year, wasn't he?
And he actually plays well in these formats, so I rescind that somewhat.
Yeah. It is sad. It's easier to think of the great European or international players than it is the American.
Hey, is Aaron Gordon ever going to make that leap and become an all-star?
I think if there's a year, if they get the number one seed somehow, this could be, because Jamal technically hasn't made one yet either.
Yeah, well, I feel like Aaron's playing a bigger role than Jamal these days. He's kind of become the de facto two. I mean, they rotate so much with Jokic, but yeah, Brunson. Gosh, I mean, I don't believe in any of the Clippers anymore. They can't stay healthy enough to earn it anyways. Sure, it's not a bad team.
Will be there if he's healthy, maybe.
Yeah, it's not a great scene, honestly. Okay. So we'll have to see, especially teams.
Hey, so you bringing up Aaron Gordon makes me think about something. He's a guy that this year he continues to kind of exceed my expectations. Where his improvement, he's a 40+% 3-point shooter now. He's averaging 19 a game. Really, just the Swiss Army knife of all Swiss Army knives. Who are some teams or maybe even players that have kind of underwhelmed or underperformed this year?
I hate to say it. The Indiana Pacers, my Indiana Pacers, are 1-11.
You were high on them.
Unfortunate. And I wouldn't be shocked if I said, hey, you know what? They're 4-8. Man, a little slower start than I thought. 1-11 is bad, even despite Tyrese being out. And they've been somewhat depleted by injuries, as have a lot of other teams. It's not a huge excuse, but boy, they have sure fallen off really hard. I also think, to a degree, the 6-6 Magic, who've come on a little stronger lately, I think there was just weird expectations for them to be like a front runner early, and there's tons of season they still could be. But in the East, those might be the two teams that I was kind of a little surprised by. And then, the West is interesting because the Clippers on paper are phenomenal. And I think we had high expectations for them. And now with the Beal injury, that actually may help them. I don't know. The Kings at 3-9, again, with a number of big names on that roster. I don't think they were going to be good, but I didn't think they were going to be 3-9. So those are some underwhelming teams that I've noticed so far. If you've notice any other ones that I'm missing, feel free. But
Yeah, no, I think the big ones, I think the Clippers definitely. Beal, I didn't realize, because last year he still averaged in
yeah,
limited time, like 18 a game. I didn't realize Beal was going to be so bad this year. To me, they were projected high to me because I still assumed Beal could be that guy that can
yeah,
get you 20 on a given night. And he was worthless this year. And the other team, Orlando, definitely from where
sure,
I had them ranked third preseason. They've definitely underperformed, but I think part of that is Bane has really not shot the ball well, and he's
yeah,
their only guy that can shoot, and so I think that's
yeah,
dinged them a little bit. And then the Mavericks, I was really
yeah,
high on the Mavs, but that's also injuries. I assumed the lineup would have been D'Lo, Clay, Cooper, AD,
yeah,
and one of the big guys, with having a dynamic PJ Washington as a
yeah,
sixth man and some of their other depth because they do
yeah,
have a pretty deep team. They're still a team. I could see them taking a
sure,
little turnaround, assuming Cooper starts getting more and more comfortable.
yeah.
AD gets healthy. They're a team I could see getting close
Yeah,
to
for
500
sure. And
again.
I think another team on the opposite end of the spectrum that's pleasantly surprised me early on has been the Raptors. I think Scotty Barnes has actually like put together a good few games. The Pistons I thought were going to be much better. I projected them as the third seed, but now they're in the one seed at 10-2. I mean, and Cade's doing it all for better or worse.
Yeah,
So I think,
yeah. For
yeah,
45 shots
yeah,
or less,
geez,
right?
Louise, giving Brady Jardine a run for his money there. But I think if he goes down, that's going to be a challenge as far as replacing that, because they clearly rely on everything he does there.
Yeah, they're a team. They definitely surprised me. I wasn't drinking the Kool-Aid on that team, and I thought they'd be like that 5 slot if I remember correctly. But Cade Duran
Yeah,
has been a surprise to me. I think he's kind of taken a subtle step in the old format. He's a guy that might get
yeah,
an All-Star nod, but I'm not sure with this new format if he has the ability to do so. But they're definitely playing well. I would agree with the Toronto Raptors. They're a team, though. If you look at the standings currently, there's
sure.
like just a game between the second seed and the ninth
Yeah,
seed, or something like that. So, I definitely think it's going to shake down where probably your Bulls, your Hawks, your Raptors, and whoever has the most injuries is going to be those final play-in games. And then if one of those teams
yeah,
overperforms, maybe they sneak in to the
yeah, for
top
sure.
six.
I wasn't underrating them, but I think I was in my head. I was projecting them higher than where I really believed with the Nuggets, and then I got a chance to see them
Mm.
live the other night, and man, they have such awesome depth to complement what Jokic is. I mean, he goes down, he's obviously a point forward, and when he faces up, he's got Aaron Gordon cutting to the basket. He's got Murray ready to pick and roll with him if he wants or shoot the three. Christian Brown's ready to also catch and shoot a three or crash the boards. Bruce Brown comes off the bench. Peyton Watson. I mean, it's just crazy. Like, Cam Johnson. I mean, my goodness, and the way that Cam Johnson
Yeah, he
he
hasn't even
hasn't
started
even
playing
gotten
well
going
yet either,
yet, but
Cam.
his ability to
Yeah.
guard both sides of the ball is very evident with what that team's doing. And I think that was such a great move for them to move on from MPJ. But it's really cool just to see like they look a little vintage Nuggets again, and I'm high on their ability to go far. We'll see. They probably can give OKC the best chance to take it all.
Yeah, no, I would agree. What I love about their team is there really is
Yeah.
no gimmick. They're just a bunch of great role players playing with the greatest
Yes.
player in the world, and they know their roles. They play their roles. There's not a lot of ambition to like be more than what their role is. That's what I think is going to be interesting in Oklahoma moving forward. Even the way that is
Yeah.
it AJ
AJ
Mitchell,
Mitchell.
is that his name? AJ Mitchell. Like he has potential to be
Very
a
good.
really good player. He's balling. They've got Chet Holmgren who still has a
Yeah.
ceiling he hasn't
Jalen
reached.
Williams hasn't been playing.
I'd say, yeah, exactly. And I'm curious if that team's going to ever get dissatisfied with. They have so many good players that might want more than
Yeah.
what their role
Their salary cap will get
requires of them,
dissatisfied in the next year.
and that will happen eventually too. So Denver's interesting in that I think they've got like just
Yeah.
this win now role player heavy roster that could really give damage,
I
do
agree.
some
Take
damage in
notes,
playoffs.
Bucks. If the Milwaukee Bucks would build that way around Giannis, the way that Denver has around Jokic, and poor man's Jokic comes in. I mean, extremely poor, maybe homeless man's Jokic. Valanciunas comes in for a few minutes, and like he doesn't kill him. Still takes a little,
No, he gets
dunks
him
a
8
couple
points.
shots, gets a couple rebounds. Like that's all he's really needed is for a few minutes a half, and it just works really, really well. So I was impressed with that, and I'm happy to see them make a little bit of a resurgence because I think whenever Jokic is, and he looks so out of shape, that's the best part. It's like he kind of trots down heavy and still making all the plays effortlessly. It's beautiful.
Oh, and he
Yeah.
plays like 37 minutes. Like so he still plays. He's durable. He plays a
Yeah.
lot. He is amazing. This might not be completely up to date. I looked at the stats around the league a couple days ago, and he was averaging 28 points. I think like almost 13 rebounds, almost 11 assists, shooting like 68%
Effortlessly.
from the field, 41% from the three, and 85% from the free throw. He's just unbelievable.
He really has like next to no weaknesses in his game. It's crazy. Crazy.
Yeah.
Well, we appreciate you guys watching. All 12 of you. Keep. We're going to do the show whether you're watching or not. We die.
Yeah.
We appreciate you watching. Subscribe, like, share, tell a friend, tell a family member, tell a fellow NBA fan that this show's going on. We've been teasing it, but we do have some great guests coming up this season. And we'll update you as we hear more in the way of news for injuries, potential trades, and, of course, the All-Star format, which we have, I would say, a little bit of hope in.
I have more hope today than I did probably
that's
a week
something.
ago.
And that's
Yeah,
something.
for sure.
Yes,
Something
it
to
is.
cling to.
All right, you guys have a good one. We'll see you next time.
Adios.